Hey guys, it's Ricky with Techbud Solutions. So today, again, thank you guys again for taking part of or taking some time off your Sunday, night. I really do appreciate it. So Techbud Solutions, we're a group that we network with one another. Right now, we're about to hit 200 people. I've been doing this for, at least I created the group about 6 months ago. So it's been growing, pretty rapidly, more than I expected actually. But it's been great being able to work with all you guys. It's motivated myself. It's motivated me, and I feel like the more people that come over, the more people that join, the more motivated I am to help one another and help each other grow. So let's just give it a couple minutes for everyone to start tuning in. Right now we're at a couple viewers. And then if you guys have any questions or want me to do any analysis on any specific stocks, please message me through Facebook. You guys can comment below if it's not disabled. If you guys have any connection to me through social media, through the GroupMe application, through anything, you can personal message me or just message me within the the application altogether, and just so I can. I want you guys to use me like as a tool. So if there's any questions or any concerns that you guys might have of a certain stock, then use me in the sense of to your fullest potential, just to have a better understanding. And that's what Techbud is like. So let's say trying to trade stereotypical like Apple stock, and you don't know if it's a good buy. The more kind of like the more insight that you have in a specific company, the better chance you'll be in being successful by trading it, just because you'll have different points of views of like what the company is, what it has to offer and stuff like that. So that's the whole point of Techbud Solutions. You have 200 different opinions on a certain company, and you're more likely to make a better decision on trading as long as you make sense of whatever it is that you're trying to invest in. So I have a couple picks or a couple stocks I'm going to talk about that I traded last week. So last week I had a 100% success rate. I didn't trade every day. I traded about 4 days, I believe, out of the 5 days. And every single time I traded, I hit my 10%. And it was a great feeling being able to trade, those 4 days. And the 5th day I was about to hop onto a stock that actually went up, I believe 25%, and we called it right from the beginning. It was BAS. We actually did, I believe, a video on it, and it was just great. I had a couple friends come over. We were trading live, and we got that alert that it went below a certain price point, broke a 52-week low, and with that we did our analysis. We were waiting for a safety net, started picking back up, but we just didn't hop in quick enough. It ended up peaking out back where it opened, which gave us a 25% margin of profit, which was great for those that jumped in. But yeah, thank you guys again. I do want to welcome all those leaders. I know we're all at different time zones, but I really do appreciate for taking time off your Sunday night and kind of coming together and being able to network with one another. So if you guys have any questions, please message me through the GroupMe, Facebook, YouTube if the comments are disabled, or if you have my direct number, then I'm already getting a couple different CTRN. Let's see if I have that one. I do not have that one just yet, so let me add that one to it. CTRN. Okay, so basically I'm going to be doing an analysis on different penny stocks or stocks overall, stocks that you guys can choose that you'd like me to analyze. It's pretty much just my opinion on where I think the stock is. I never promote any type of you should buy here and sell here. I really do believe when it comes to trading penny stocks, I'm here to teach you the fundamentals of trading penny stocks or stocks overall and investing, and it's your job to make the decision as you're the account owner and the one that is or has the money to invest, to make your own decision. You should never be trading based on someone else's opinion. I don't care who it is, mine, a millionaire's opinion. You're becoming more of the 90% of the people that trade that end up losing all their money because you have no understanding of what it is that you're investing in. If you do not know what you're buying and do not know where you're selling at, then you should not be investing whatsoever. So I'll be talking about different stocks based on my success on being able to trade them and kind of what I look out for. So if you guys are new to Techbud, we tend to focus on 3 specific rules, and those rules are only trading penny stocks that have a 10% profit margin, which means that if you don't see a 10% profit margin within a day, which means from top to bottom. I don't know how to explain it. Let's say, you know, there's a penny stock that that opened at 60% and it has a safety net at 50%. It hit 50% and then it has a 10% or a 10-cent margin. So that's a 20% profit margin. So if it has that 10% potential, then you can make that decision of, okay, that's rule one. Rule two is to not hold overnight. So you can't hold a penny stock. I mean, you can, but we'd suggest for you not to trade or hold a penny stock overnight, as it could get delisted or removed from the stock market altogether, which would mean that you lose all the money that you have invested in that company. So the only way that you could actually control how you grow your account is by doing that, in a sense of, let's say, you know, you're at a 52-week, you know, or a 2-week streak of, you know, investing, you made, you know, $10,000, or whatever it is, $500 that you've made. So now your account's at $1,000 or, you know, $5,000, and you invest and you hold overnight, and the company that you choose to invest in that day, and because you broke the rule and you held overnight, it gets delisted, it gets cut in half, which means now you just lost half your money, so you're back at where you started. Or if not, it gets delisted and removed from the stock market altogether, which means every single penny that you had into that company, you lose it. It's probably one of the worst feelings, and it's what's kind of enabled me to kind of promote that rule, in a sense of I've lost a certain amount of money that I had invested in a company by breaking that rule. So with that rule, it's been very helpful. And the last rule that I'm going to focus on is to set stop losses, which means the only way that you can grow your account is by being able to control how much money you lose. So always having a 5 to 10% margin for you to set a stop loss in, which means that if the company you buy at 60 cents ends up dropping below, you know, 55 to 50 cents, you end up selling no matter what. And it's a trade of being disciplined. And those who do it, even though that you cut your losses short, you could at least control how much money you lose. So the next time you trade, you know, you make that back, instead of that stock continuing to drop, and you end up losing all your money, and you never end up seeing, you know, a future when it comes to trading. So I believe we have a good amount of viewers now. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay. And again, if you guys have any questions or want me to talk about any specific stock, please feel free to message me through any social media application that you might have me through, as I can answer that for you, okay? All right, I'm going to start sharing my screen. I'm going to start from the ones that I see that have the most potential. Okay, let me talk to you guys about Eagle. Eagle, you know, it shows to not be a penny stock. The thing that I'm going to be making a video about this one later on, but Eagle used to trade below 40 cents. They cut their number of shares, which means if they had 1,000 shares, now they only had 100 shares. But you know, they have millions of shares. So instead of, you know, like 15 million, they cut down to 1.5 million, which increased their price per share, which is complete BS. That's why it says that it was trading at $1.40. And realistically, I didn't know that they were able to do that. And they actually changed the whole history of the stock. It used to be that, you know, you could see that it was trading at the 50 cents or whatever it was, and then you saw a huge spike. And there's a couple stocks that did it. I believe it was this one. It was Dust, and showed 1,000% gain, which is ridiculous. And it kind of tricks traders that don't know about the stock to kind of buy in. And you know, it was trading at whatever the price, you know, $140 essentially per share. Had these huge drops, which it was originally trading at like 32 cents. So just so you guys know. And then started trading, you know, a couple days ago. I really hate this setup. Let me change this chart. So this is Fidelity. This is a brokerage company I use to do my technical analysis. I use TD Ameritrade for my live stream while I'm trading live, as it has a better, you know, just a platform for that. And then I use Robinhood to execute most of my trades, as long as they're under $2,000. Just based on them not charging commissions, which ends up saving, you know, new traders a lot of money. And then you can change the frequency. But Fidelity has a beautiful platform when it comes to doing your technical analysis and being able to set, you know, your safety nets and your resistance levels, just like this. So it had a huge spike. I believe it hit like, you know, nearly 100%. It went from $5, yeah, all the way up to $12. came back down. Most likely this is, I mean, a penny stock. So those who don't know, you kind of wrote it up. Are gonna write it all the way back down. Started holding right there, but I don't want to get too much into this. I just want to let you guys know to make sure that you guys understand what you guys are trading as. You know, these companies can kind of trick you into thinking, you know, this isn't a penny stock, but then you see these huge dips, just because it still has that same just momentum as a penny stock. So make sure you're careful with that. So this is actually one that I traded that I was quite successful in trading. So let me talk to you a little bit about this one. I called it out on our last Sunday stock talk, and then last week I traded it when it was at 43 cents, and then I sold at 48 cents, and I was able to bring, I believe, a little bit over $200 for ICLD. I was able to actually, I mean, I slept in, and that's the thing that, you know, I slept in, I believe, 15 minutes. I woke up at 6:45, and then I set my limit order to sell. And this, it was just, you know, I set my limit order to buy, and then it filled, and I just didn't know that it was going to fill, and I just really wasn't prepared. I just started school, you know, or ASU Polytechnic for last week, and I was kind of overwhelmed with all my classes and stuff, but that's my mistake. So pretty much what I wanted to show you guys, the reason I saw so much potential in ICLD, as me and one of the traders, his name is Ishmael, he was trading this with me. And we saw I had a 52-week low, right, at 42 cents. And the way we figured this out is, look, we can draw a safety net right there, as in, you know, the company started bleeding back down, touched 42.5 cents, and started picking back up, right? So based on our analysis, year to date, ICLD tends to trade above 42.5 cents. So me being able to do that statistically, I would say if it touches 42.5 cents again, and we see upward momentum, then that shows this being a strong resistance, a strong safety net, upward momentum. So this could essentially be a hold, but me being a day trader, I don't care too much about holding ICLD overnight, as you know, it could just have a huge drop. So based on that, I did my own analysis on, you know, seeing potential trading ICLD. And then with that, when it came to doing my technical analysis within that 1 month margin, we were seeing the stock itself kind of hold itself right above 42 cents, pretty strong. And then just the volume was right, 24 in the morning, and then it just ended up spiking up. And with that, luckily we were able to ride it. So we already knew where we wanted to sell. Me and Ishmael, the one that we were trading it, just based on this old safety net become new resistance levels. So us being able to understand that, you know, I mean, the only reason you should be trading in the stock is if you know the buying point and you know the selling point, and being able to understand safety nets and resistance levels. Us being able to be prepared and being, you know, 10% of those who are trading, we saw the profit margin, you know, it had 10%. So if we're buying at 43 cents, we want to be selling around 47 or 48 cents to lock in our 10% profit margin. And with that, you know, we're able to get up at 43 cents, just how the market opened, and then ended up selling at 48 cents. And that's pretty much it. It hit highs of 54 cents, and it started coming back down. And on Friday, it closed at 42 cents. I'm not saying, you know, jump right in. I'm saying, you know, if it tends to hold above 42.5 cents and you see upward momentum, which means it starts picking up from 42 to 43, and you see the depth, and the depth means, you know, people are buying higher price than the safety net, which is 42.5 cents, and it continues to rise and the volume continues to rise. That shows upward momentum, and with that, you know, you can become a momentum trader. You can buy in, ride this back up. And you can have kind of an edge on those people that are just buying just because they see it having up, by you being able to understand and being disciplined enough to be able to know where a good selling point is. So being able to know that this is a safe net, this is a new resistance level, being able to understand that, you just can set your limit order to sell at 48 cents. And with that, you lock in your profits. They believe, you know, they're riding it up, has this huge drop, and they ride it back down, but you lock in your 10% because you are a disciplined trader. So that is, you know, I guess my other thing I like so much about ICLD. BAS is another one that me and one of the traders, Chance, discovered. Believe it was like Thursday morning. So BAS has broken the 52-week low. So within the year, this is the lowest point it's hit. It actually, the lowest point it's hit within, I believe, 2 years. It was like, let's see, it's been on a constant spike down, and with that, you know, we had to be very careful, and that's why we didn't jump in on BAS. And this is the one that had that 25% profit margin. So let's just go 10 days in and change the frequency to 15 minutes. So at this huge drop, and we're waiting for it to kind of set its safety net, which means a point that it tends to, show upward momentum. Right away, we saw it hold right above 43 cents. We're gonna buy in. We saw the little drop and we got a little scared, so we just kind of sat on our hands and wanted to ride it, wanted to watch it go up. We already knew that based on the market opening at 53 cents to 54 cents, that was going to be a resistance level. So by the time that we knew, where the resistance level was, it was already too late for us, as it already picked up and kind of hit its peak and then started dropping back down. And what we're going to see is if it tends to hit 43 cents and it shows upward momentum, then I could make the decision of, now I can buy in, lock in my 10% profit. So again, around 48 cents, which is definitely plausible based on, it having that potential within one day, as in creating this V in a sense of being able to drop from 53 cents down to 43 cents. So that's 10 cents. So you're talking about, a stock itself that's at 40 cents. It's about 23 to 25% profit margin. But I could get greedy. I can buy it at 43 cents, try to hold and be those few sellers that sell at 53 to 54 cents, or I can be a realistic trader, lock in my 10% profit margin every single trade I do or try to execute, and in the long run being able to have more of a being able to have a larger account. So that's pretty much what I tend to promote. I try to promote realistic goals, and with that, if you stay disciplined to them, then you should be striving for success, and you should be doing that realistically. So that's the potential that I saw in BAS, 52-week low, 10% profit margin, not holding overnight, and setting a stop loss. So even though that I think this is a great buy, I always set my stop loss, at 40 cents. That could be at a 7% loss, but at least I'd rather lose 7% than, losing, 40% like these people right here. But yeah, that's pretty much my technical analysis on BAS. LPCN has had a crazy week. It's just been on a constant decline. So this one had a huge drop, and it used to trade above, $10, had a huge drop, and we've been trying to ride it back ever since. And it has these huge spikes of just upward momentum for like days, and now it's just, hitting that low point where I believe the safety net for this one is going to be right around here. So it's trying to hold above 330, which is a really strong safety net, but it has a support here, and it used to have a support right around here. So once it breaks this, then we'll see it, continue rising up. You can get it at 330, and you see it picking up like it did here, ride it up, and this is more of a, not necessarily a penny stock in a sense. So this is more of a long-term stock, but still make sure, because it does have these these big drops, not huge drops, but consistently within the next couple of days, or within days, it just continues to drop and bleed down. So again, make sure you see 10% potential. If this isn't necessarily a penny stock, then you can kind of make your decision on LPCN on what you decide to trade with. But yeah, this is definitely one that I'd say keep an eye out for. Rex is one that is definitely on our radar. So this one, year to date, the lowest points that it hits, that it has hit, it's right here. And if I'm not mistaken, that is 54 cents. So within 52 weeks, it tends to hit 54 cents, ride back up, 52 cents, ride back up, 52 cents, ride back up, 52 cents, ride back up. As you can see, those spikes that it's been having up have slowly been declining, as first hitting 240 and then hitting 140 and then just hitting 1 and then hitting, like 70 cents. So what that shows is, it might break these safety nets quite often as it's kind of trying to plateau, or it might have a huge spike. Realistically, I don't care about the huge spike. I more care about that huge drop, as I'm trying to be a precautious trader. So with that is, I'm going to change this. I'm going to go just month, change the frequency to 30 minutes, and I'm going to do my own analysis here. So look, within the past month itself, it had that safety net, pretty strong safety net, right around that, a little bit above 55.5 cents. And it had a strong resistance level. So what that means is this stock tends to trade. So we call these different levels. This is level 1 and level 2. So it tends to trade around level 2 from 60 to 66 cents, which is a perfect 10% profit margin. So for those that know how to trade it, it tends to hold above 60 cents, then hit 66 and then drop back down, as it, it did for a couple days here. Once it breaks this safety net, it now begins to trade from 55 to 60 cents, and this is level 1 of trading. So you buy in at the low points, you ride at the high points, and with that, once it breaks this point, then it can continue riding back up. But always what you want to make sure is, if you're buying at level 2, that it doesn't break, like it did here, and shows, just kind of traits of, it continuing to bleed down. So with that is, make sure you catch it at the low points of whichever level you're trading, and have your safety net sets, no matter what level you're trading at, level 1 and level 2, to secure your losses. So I'd say Rex itself, it tends to be quite profitable when you buy in at 55 cents. Make sure you see upward momentum, as these safety nets don't always mean that it can't go below. But this is definitely one that I'd add to your watch list, and I'd set your alerts once it goes below 56 cents, and also if it goes below 55 cents, as that could kind of be creating a whole new safety net. Let's see, and I'm going to talk about a stock that one of our members is saying to talk about. So let's say, yeah. Alrighty, so this I think. So overall, what I see with CTRN right away is obviously downward momentum. So what that means, it's a true penny stock, which is good, at least for us. It's been. I'm going to change this right away. I could see that the volume really isn't there, because it has these little lines, and these are every 15 minutes. And if every 15 minutes, it's just trading around this low, these little dots, the reason that they're not a full candlesticks, it's because no one's actually buying or selling within that period. So with that, is the volume tends to be pretty low, and we could actually see the volume. So if you guys want to keep your eyes out right here, you could see the volume. So 100, 100, 100, which is the base volume, 300, and then it rises up. And then when you see, this area that it's spiking up, now you see the volume kind of rise, and then every time that you see this kind of bug out, then huge spike. So volume 26,000. So with that, you can see that the volume starts picking back up. Momentum trading, you can buy in, have a sell point. What I'd say right now for, let me go 1 month, it's at a high point. So when you're trying to do a day trade, I mean, there's high points and low points of different levels that you're trading at. So I'd say 85 cents tends to be, the resistance levels. 58 cents tends to be, or 55 cents tends to be the safety net. So these are different levels of trading. So the easiest way that I can put it for you guys is, so these are the different levels, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now it's at level 4. It's in the low point of level 4. So if you can ride it at 77, the volume's right, and tends to pick back up like it did here, with the volume being at the 50,000 range. You can ride it up and lock in your 10% profit margin. But you also want to make sure, since the volume is so low, that, when you're trying to sell, that no one's willing to buy, and you're going to ride it all the way down. So riding it from 70 cents, even though that's considered a good buy based on this level of trading, once it breaks this, it's going to continue dropping. And with that, you want to make sure that you can secure your losses. And with these stocks that tend to have very low volume, they're a little bit harder to trade, because if you buy $1,000 worth of stocks, there's not $1,000. There's not traders that are trying to buy $1,000 worth of CTRN, because it might not just be there. So I'd be very careful. Volume is too low for me. I'd stay away from this. But do your own analysis and kind of see if you see kind of potential with CTRN. Then just make sure that whatever you're trading, that you have logic behind it. So if you have logic and actual kind of facts that you've created based on doing your own analysis, then I'm not here to tell you no, you're wrong. Do your own analysis. If you see potential within a certain stock based on like logic and facts and information, then go ahead and do it. But for CTRN, I'd say I'd step away. I don't. With my account, I feel like my account would be too big to trade this, as I can drive the price up or down. But that's just my preference overall. So I have another stock that someone wants me to. His name is Gerald. So all right, so GBSN, and I already know this is Great Basin, I'm pretty sure. So I used to trade this one, then the volume was very low. Yeah, Great Basin Scientific Incorporated. Volume is way too low on this one for me, so like we're gonna do it right away. I'm gonna click on advanced chart, And he gave me a thumbs up right now. Let's go then. Based on what I remember, I stepped away from Great Basin based on the volume being too low, and when I started to trade with a larger account, it just was, the benefit wasn't really there for me. Back to it, 1 month it's hitting lows. Year to date, yeah, I mean it's pretty much plateauing, as you can see. Like, it's not getting much lower. It's kind of plateaued at that 20 cents. Been staying above 20 cent. Wow. Okay, it's been holding pretty steady above 20 cents, as you can see. That's a huge amount of days that it's been holding, and it does have these little spikes. So essentially, 10% profit margin for a 20-cent stock is 2 cents. So if you can lock in 2 cents, which is definitely possible based on this. So let me get a little bit closer. So this is a 10-day increment, so buying in. Yeah, I mean, if the volume is right and it looks like it's about to break this 20%, safety net, as long as you see upward momentum, the volume being right. So the way you can see is just what was going on here. So volume was around going down and then picking back up, and volume tends to spike, and then all of a sudden volume goes away, and then it has these huge drops. Volume spikes up to the millions and then rides it up. As it peaks out, volume drops, and then everyone begins to sell, almost hitting million. Yeah, and then it tends to plateau. So this is a true penny stock, as in having volumes of multi-million people that are, or trades that are going on, down to a certain, just like, let's see what the lowest volume is. Yeah, it hits lows of like 40,000. So with that's it's crazy how volatile this company can be. But look, 10% profit margin. So what you have to shoot for realistically is, if you can get in at 20 cents and you see it picking up, as in you see this, not this. If you see this, it just plateauing, then why buy in it? Because that's just gonna, in a sense, just use a day trade, and you're gonna have to buy and sell within the same day if you stick to the rules, right? And you have the possibility of it staying so steady that all of a sudden it could have like a huge drop, and then you're losing all your money, because as easy as it could go down, it could easily go back down. I mean, go up, it could easily go back down. So with that, I'd say I'd be careful with CBS or GBSN, but it definitely does have that 10% profit margin. I'd say just stick to the rules. If you see upward momentum, you see the volume start to spike in the 100,000s and it's going up, then you can make your decision of buying in. And if you have logic behind it, based on you're doing your own analysis and looking into the company, then good for you. Go ahead and jump in, and then kind of let us share your best practices with us, as we'd love to kind of hear about what you do with GBSN. This is definitely one that I'm going to be adding to my watch list and see if I can hop on, because 2%, I mean 2 cents, although it sounds so simple, that's still 10%, and that tends to happen within a day, as in you could buy it at 20, it drops from 22 to 20. So if you can ride it from 20 to 22, just like it did there, and then a second time here, so it definitely is possible, just based on how it closed on Friday. Didn't seem to do too well, so just make sure you see that upward momentum. There's a couple more I got, and let's see, IMNP. I actually think I have that one. Yeah, right here. So this is one that I was looking at. One of our traders, Anthony, wanted me to look into this. Sorry, I know I'm going a little bit over the 30-minute mark, guys. If you guys can still stick with us, then we'd love to have you. If not, then I definitely do understand, and I appreciate you guys, joining us this Sunday. If you guys have any questions, or want to join our group, the link is on our description, where you can join our group for free on Facebook. Okay, and if you want to trade actively with us, then we have the GroupMe application, where we talk, Monday through Friday, nonstop, from open hours to closing, and then we kind of tend to talk about different stuff. But year to date for IMNP, whoa, yeah, but different levels of trading. So let me just draw it out. This is year to date, right? Just to show that it does have a lot of downward momentum, not huge amounts, but it does have a lot of downward momentums. And actually, so you can see that it traded, within the 40 cents, right back up, 40 cents, hit 50, 40 cents, 50, 40 cents, broke the safety net, right it back down, hit all the way low, I believe, of 20, came back up to 40, down to 30, up to 50, and then now started to trade within 30 to 40. And if it tends to hold, again, these are different levels of trading. You want to make sure that you buy it at the low points. So Anthony was actually talking to me or asking that, that there's a support around 34. I do believe there's a support around 34. Would I buy that at 34? No, because that's the middle of essentially this level of trading. So what I'd say, if you want to get in at a real good point to kind of ensure, you do your own analysis. It's a good point to go in. I'm not here to tell you that it's not. I'm just saying that I'm looking for those stocks that don't always hit that certain point where I can lock in my profit within one day. And it does tend to show some support within one day with lows of 30 to 32. So what I'd say is, even though it tends to hold above 34 cents, you want to be that 1% that buys in at that 32 to be able to lock in your profits. That's why you have thousands of stocks to choose from. So you can be that 1% on every single time you trade to lock in your profits. But do your own decision, do your own analysis. It looks like it's picking up around 34 cents. So that's a good analysis that you did. I definitely do see why you said that, as it touched pretty much 33 cents, then started picking back up, and then it tends to have a slight resistance level, as you could see. It kind of just staying below that mark of 36 cents. And old safety nets becoming new resistance levels, that's definitely possible. Just try to be that 1% that buys in at the low points of level 1 of trading, then ride it back up. And this is, if you're buying at 32, 33 cents, you have to be selling within 35 to 36 cents to lock in your 10% profit margin, which seems to be possible within the day. So let me go a little bit closer to the day analysis within 15 minutes. These little gaps are within a day. So they bought in, or it opened at 37.5 cents and then closed at 40 cents. So that's close to 10%. Then had a huge spike and then it came back down, started bleeding back down. Again, this is you want to buy at that low point, ride it up, buying at that low of 36 cents, selling at the highs of 39, close to 10%, locking in the profits, broke the safety net, ride it back down. Saw that these tend to have safety nets and resistance levels, or at least tend to trade within 3 to 4 cents, which is 10%, which is usually what they tend to trade with most stocks. So you can see that this is pretty much a level of trading, and then this is level 1. So you guys can feel free to screenshot this. So level 1, level 2, level 3. This is level 1 of trading. I'd say 34 is too high for me. I'd try to buy in at 33. Stay disciplined. Don't hold overnight, and set your stop loss, as we could see year to date that it could have that pretty big drop. It's not a huge drop, but when it comes to percentage wise and how much money you could lose, if you're trading with $1,000 and it hits the lows of what is that, $21, you're losing 10 cents, which is 1/3, so 33.33% of whatever you're trading. So if you're trading with $1,000, you just lost $333.33. So I'd say be careful, make sure you stay disciplined, and yeah. I have another stock, and I believe this is gonna be the last one that I'm gonna do. Just ETRM. I do not have that one. ETRM. Okay, so this is my first time looking at this stock. Anthony says, thank you, of course. And I want you guys to reach out to me. This is just because I can't do the analysis because I don't want to make the video too long. Reach out to me if you guys ever want me to do any analysis for you guys. Please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to help you guys out any way that I can. Just these videos are a little bit, I try to keep them a little bit shorter. So any questions you guys might have about investing or anything like that, reach out to me. If you guys want to network with another person in the group based on you think they can be a benefit to you and your success, reach out to me. I'll try to see what I can do and link you guys together. So Gerald, Anthony, and all those people that were kind of suggesting different trades, you're welcome. And thank you guys again for taking time on your Sunday and reaching out to me. So year to date, ETRM, okay? So again, consistent, just drop. So that's why you don't want to hold penny stocks for a long period of time. Overall, I don't need to look at this too much. I could see that there's a safety net right here as it tends to touch that point, pick back up, touch that point, touch that point, touch that point, pick back up. I'm going to change the frequency to 30 minutes to have a better understanding. So this is definitely one that you can day trade. These are getting a little bit lower or closer to the penny stocks that become a little bit more volatile. So I'd say right there. And then safety net is right here. 16 cents. Yeah, this is two different levels. Okay. Just because it's getting close, we can do three different levels. So as you can see, they tend to trade within 10%. So from 16 to 18, from 18 to about 20, from 20 to 21. That's not necessarily your 10%, but it tends to break a little bit over sometimes. So I'd say it's too high right now for ETRM. I'd say try to buy at the low points of, like this person did within the 18 cents, rode it back up, locking in their 10% profit margin, and then just selling. And then, waiting again patiently, setting your alerts. If it triggers that it goes below 19 cents, then, you can hop back on your computer or on your phone, wait for it to, get close to that 18%. If you see that upward momentum, and this happened within a day of trading, not at open, as you can see from the 24th to the 25th. So it's happened within a day, and it tends to do that with this stock. Not necessarily at open. I mean, at open it goes green, but then within the day it starts to go back up, which is good. You usually don't see that. It tends to go back up within the middle of the day. So do your analysis, see when it tends to go up. I'd say a better buying point for level 2 of trading, as this is 1, 2, 3. If you can buy in at level 1, buying at that low points of 16 cents, right it up to the 18-cent mark, as it tends to be able to do that. And be careful, just if you see it picking up above 18 cents, try to buy around 18 cents and sell around 20. But just know that these are critical points. Although it's trading above 18 cents right now, it does not mean that it can't break it based on what it did here. It broke the safety net at 18, started riding back down, hit 16, and then started hitting, bouncing between these two lines. So you just have to look at the trends. Make sure you have good buying points and good selling points and understand what you're investing in, and stay disciplined with the 3 rules. And if you guys create your own rules to be a little bit more intuitive with whatever you guys are trading, then great. I mean, the more rules you guys have, the more disciplined you guys are, the less mistakes that you guys are going to make. So that is my analysis. Yeah, of course. Let me see. I'm going to stop. Alrighty. So that is pretty much it when it comes to doing the technical analysis. I do want to talk about just very quickly about investing. And I'm very repetitive with what I do. I'm very repetitive with what I say to you guys because I want to make sure that it sticks. And when it comes to trading penny stocks, you guys are trading stocks or investing. You guys have to treat it as a job. And when you're at a job, you try to be as presentable or as professional as you can with whatever you do. If you're younger, then you have more of a job. If you're older, then you might have more of a career. Whatever state you're in, you have to treat day trading as a job and stay disciplined. Create your rules, go by those rules, and don't break them. And that's what's going to lead to your success. Just kind of put it into perspective. How are you going to be successful if you're, a teller and you want to become a manager? You're going to stay disciplined, go by the rules, and kind of, ride it up. Same thing when it comes to a different field, different concept, or same concept, just different field. When it comes to investing, you have certain rules. The whole idea of investing is to make money. And I don't care who it is, it's your money, and you're the only one that should be making the decision of, this is a good price to buy at, this is a good price to sell at, and you, the one that's the decision maker, and that's what's going to lead to success. Because if you understand what you're investing, if you understand the market and you understand business in a sense, then that's what's going to lead you to be successful. Because you can go based off someone else's opinion and kind of guide you in the right direction or kind of expose you to something you weren't aware about. But when it comes to pulling the trigger and investing just 1 cent or $1 of your money, that is all you. And I just want to make sure that you guys understand that you guys understand that this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. we have traders that trade with $100 accounts, and I tell them, I don't care if you're trading with a $100 account, that traders that trade with, you know, a $10,000 account. When it comes to trading, if you stay disciplined and you stick to, you know, the 10%, if you're trading with $100, hitting that 10% consistently, you know, for a week, and then for 2 weeks, and then for 3 weeks, and then for 4 weeks, and you lock in that $10 profit, 10% profit, right? If you're trading with $100, every single time you trade, you could start increasing your account. And because you see potential, because you see that you are disciplined enough to grow your account and make money, when you start trading with $1,000, then now you're making $100 every single time you trade, with the same idea, with the same concept, with the same type of skills. And then with that, you can start funding your account little by little, a little bit more, and $5,000 to $10,000 to a $50,000 account, and you can become a better trader than all those people that are making money or making videos about, you know, the luxury cars and all that stuff. They're not hitting 10%. So if I can start you guys off with a higher goal of, you know, locking in 10% every single time you trade, and you stay disciplined to that when you start trading with a larger $1,000 of accounts. Right now I trade from $2,000 to $5,000 at a time. I can lock from $200 to $500 a day, or every single time I trade. And with that, you know, you need, I believe, $393 a day, 5 days a week for the next, you know, 52 weeks in a year to hit $100,000. And if you continue to do that, you have your day job, and then you have different sources of income. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to do that. So just to put into perspective, so you guys, you know, set a game plan, set your rules. And I'd love to be able to help you guys out with that. If you guys need a little bit of help with being a little bit more disciplined, then reach out to me. We'll set a game plan for you. I am very busy during the weekend, and with school starting, I'm taking 15 units, and yeah, it's really busy, but you know, I'm always willing to make time for you guys if you guys are always there, willing to, you know, to try. And for those that reach out to me and that would try to schedule calls and stuff like that, they know that. And for those that have reached out to me and I haven't been able to get to make a call or schedule a call with you guys, I really do apologize. It's just been a little bit harder with everything that's been going on, but I should have a little bit more time this upcoming week as I get my schedule and all my classes kind of on check and stuff like that. But thank you guys again so much for tuning in for this, you know, another week of our Sunday Stock Talk. If you guys have any questions or feel like this video and this content and what this, you know, channel kind of pertains about will be benefit to anyone that you know, please feel free to share it, as we'd love to be able to be a part of their success, and we'd love to be able to have you guys kind of help us grow in a sense as well, because the more people we have, the more potential we have to make money. And just to let you guys know, this is not my room. This is actually my girlfriend's room. I'm in her dorm. And yeah, I'm helping her build the desk. So I just wanted to make sure you guys know that this isn't mine. But thank you guys again so much for watching. I'm sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure that I don't have some flowers on my walls. But thank you guys again. I hope you guys have a good Sunday, and reach out to me if you guys have any questions, and good luck this week. That's so funny. Bye.